Welkom terug by die groot ontbyt. So rukkie gelede het Tracy McQuarrie by ons kom kuier. Sy is van DogtownSA. En julle het haar onderhoud so baie geniet. Ons het besluit hierdie jaar gaan ons haar meer gereeld terug verwelkom en ons gesels oor alle dinge hond. Dit klink 'n bietjie verkeerd. Oor hondegoeters. Morning, Tracy.
Morning.
Lovely to have you here this morning again.
Thank you for having me back. I'm excited to be here.
We are all dog lovers, apart from her Yorkie, who I think is an alien. But we're all dog lovers, and we can't wait to spend more time with you this year. And today, I think, would be nice if we can talk about meeting strange dogs, new dogs, unknown dogs, new friends. Not only humans, but also our dogs.
Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, you are an expert when it comes to dog behavior. If I walk in a park with my dog, if I am out and about, and there's another dog that I don't know that arrives on the scene, what are the danger signs I have to look out for, specifically for my dog? I mean, we're all worried about a big, intimidating dog walking up on your medium to small dog on a leash. What are some of the things that we need to think of?
Well, ideally, if you're in a dog park, both dogs should be on a leash. But we all know things happen where a dog is loose and it becomes quite an unexpected part of your adventure with your dog. We must remember when a dog is on a lead, first of all, we have took away one of their main escape routes. You know, if a dog is under stress, one of their things is to flight, get out of the way, run away from danger. So when we've got our dogs on the leash, we've took that away. So, you know, we shorten the options of what they can do then. So, you know, there's also fight, there's faint, there's fawn, where some dogs you'll see if they see a dog coming towards, they'll quickly start sniffing around as if, oh, you're not really there. And we need to understand that a dog that's off lead and your dog on lead can cause not a nice dynamic for your dog because he hasn't got an option to get away. But in saying that, most dogs don't like you coming straight at them. So even if you are seeing a dog and you're like, oh, you're so good. No.
Intimidating.
It's not nice for them. I mean, if you think about it for yourself, if somebody came up to you and went, hey, you wouldn't like it either. So we've got to understand that they find that extremely intimidating. And when dogs are having a little look at each other and not enjoying each other's company, they do a stare down. So like when we speak to each other, we look at each other in the eyes. Dogs don't do that. When dogs are looking at each other in the eyes, that's them saying, well, yeah, what's your problem, kind of thing.
Are you up for a fight?
Yeah, so they don't like that. You'll see if a dog is uncomfortable, they'll do glances away. They'll lick their lips. There's a lot of body language that you can see when your dog's uncomfortable, licking their lips. Their ears will tuck back. Their tail will tuck under. They'll kind of look away, pretend to sniff on the ground, because all of a sudden need the toilet. All these things are displacement behaviours to try and calm them down from the situation they found themselves in.
Wow.
So normally when we introduce dogs to a strange dog, we always walk in a circle. You know, dogs do like to sniff each other's butts to get to know each other. So we try and do that for their meeting up, is have them walking behind each other more than coming at each other. As soon as you come at each other, that really puts an unsettling feeling for the dogs. So it's always better to come at an angle or round in a circle. A lot of the times we walk together, side by side, and let them start moving towards each other.
So the owners walk side by side?
Yes.
The dogs are free to move about in that setup?
You kind of control more that they are also side by side. You don't want to allow necessarily in the beginning, when you don't understand if it's going to be a good dynamic or not, to just go for a free-for-all. So normally it's best to just walk with the dog side by side, see how they interact. You can see if the one will go and have a little sniff, and you'll see how this one reacts. Watch their body language. Is it stiffening up? Does their tail go up straight? Does it tuck under? Are their ears back? Are their eyes? We call it whale eye, where you see a lot of the white of the eye. All those things. And obviously the one problem is we normally only pick it up when it gets to like the lip
the
curl
snarling, yes.
or the growl. But there's lots of body language identifying behaviours that they're doing before it gets to the growl. So it's really important to look how your dog's looking. You can see if a dog is happy, you know, if they've got that loose body and loose face and their tail's kind of wagging at a normal pace. You know, people think if a dog's tail's wagging, they're happy. Not always. You know, if it's up straight and it's got a little fast, you'll normally see that with the Jack Russells. You know, they're a bit highly strung at that stage. So reading a dog's body language is something that's really important. And unfortunately, children specifically, when they move towards dogs, children move in a different way to adults. We are more like, you know, our movement is very, you know, we know what we're doing. Whereas a child's kind of all over the place, and the dogs find that quite overwhelming as well. They're like, what is this coming towards me like this? And I mean, children also don't understand any of those body language signals. I mean, us as adults don't pick up most of them. So there's no chance they are. So most of the time, we always advise, never approach the dog. Let the dog approach you. Even when people come to the shelter to meet new dogs, we tell them, don't go up to the dog. You sit down and let the dog, when they are happy, they will come to you, and then you can interact with the dogs. Going to the dogs is very threatening for them.
How important is it to teach a dog to socialise from like puppy age?
Extremely important. Especially in your early puppy phases, get them to puppy classes, puppy schools. Not only do they learn good manners, which are going to help that dog for the rest of their life, that socialisation with the other dogs, with other people, is really important. And sadly, what kind of happens is people do the puppy class and then they stop. And you've got to kind of think of like your child going to creche and then no more schooling, but now you want them to pass matric. It's, I'm showing my age now. I don't know what it is now, grade 12. So you've got to understand, they've also got to learn more so that they could advance and gather more information on how to live in our world, because we've took them out of their dog world and we're saying, okay, come live in our crazy human world. So we need to give them the tools to be able to live harmoniously with us as humans.
You refer to sit down, maybe that's maybe easier, especially at Dogtown. Sit down, let the dog come to you. The animal will come to you. In an environment where there's a dog around and you're sitting on the ground, sometimes people say, don't be at eye level with that big Rottweiler. There is an issue there. There's going to be something. Is that the case? And how do you approach a big or intimidating dog, or even a dog that is just scared? Is it usually a palm to the top, let them smell your hand, palm to the bottom? What are the rules?
So, first of all, every dog's an individual. So it's kind of a gamble with every dog. You might think, this worked with this dog, I'm going to do it with this dog. It doesn't always happen that way. As I said, the best way to be is allow the dog to come to you. Being down at eye level is, again, it's that eye-to-eye contact that they find as a threat. So they don't like that. So when you go to things like puppy school and you do puppy training, you will see they teach you to teach your dog to have eye focus. So from a young age, they learn that with a human, that isn't a threat.
It's not confrontational.
You know, so we'll teach, you know, like focus, like look, and then they look at you, and then when they look at you, you reward them for doing that, so that they're not then at a later stage when, you know, when you've got a little baby puppy, it's much easier to work with that kind of behaviour than when you're dealing with a 50-kilogram dog now and now want to try and teach it that looking in the eyes, okay.
Yeah.
We miss the early stage of teaching them that. It's going to be, you can teach an old dog new tricks, but you need to understand where that dog is in their behaviour level, what they understand. And like you said, the fear, most times dogs are bite children are generally out of fear. It's a lot of people say it's an aggressive dog. It's normally fear aggression. Nobody listened to the other signs. He was giving you the body language signs. He growled, he asked you to step away, you didn't, and then his last option then is to bite.
So I can give you an example. So my alien Yorkie, which I have, and over December I had lots of family at my house, which isn't normally in the space. And so Lizzie was sitting on my lap, and one of the kids came and they wanted to pet Liz. And Lizzie's very relaxed; she doesn't ever bite anyone. Very relaxed, and all of a sudden she kind of snapped at it, and I assumed it was because all of a sudden, you know, everyone was in Lizzie's space and she's not used to it. Is that something that happens?
Yeah, so obviously now that her normal way of life has like gone totally out of kilt. So now she's like, what is going on? Again, she's sitting on your lap, your mama, she's always going to love you. This person waddling towards you, she doesn't know, is that a threat to you? Is that a threat to her? It would always be better for the children to have sat down and given Lizzie that choice to go to them. She might not choose to do so.
Yes.
Yorkies have a tendency to, you know, not suffer fools gladly. So she might not have chosen to go. And also, a lot of the times we find with the smaller dogs, when they do come across danger, the parents generally pick them up and take them away from that danger. So they also then, in their minds, think, you know, when Mom's got a hold of me, there could be danger, so I need to be on alert here.
Wow.
Tracy, so much info and so many questions. We definitely have to get you back. We are so looking forward to more segments with you and more chats about dog behavior specifically. We have so many questions, but we'll keep them in our back pockets.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Nou, daar sy daai keer Tracy McQuarrie. Sy gaan van DogtownSA. Sy gaan weer hier by ons in die ateljee wees. Hou maar 'n bietjie dop en dan gesels ons oor interessante stories. As jy graag 'n vraag het wat jy vir Tracy wil vra, dalk het jy 'n vraag oor jou hond se manier of se gemoed en wat jy kan doen om te help. Stuur gerus 'n e-pos aan ons by info@grootfm.co.za. info@grootfm.co.za. En wie weet, dalk kan ons vir Tracy daai vraag vra en dan kan jy ook verwoef beter verstaan.